Hello, everyone. I'm your reader for today, Nexo. Thank you for tuning in to Sophisticated Sunday. I'm going to be doing a reading about European descent, or otherwise known as white actors and actresses adopting children that are natively born in Africa and black. So basically, black Africans. Or I want to know about the spiritual consequences of these white people adopting these black babies. Let me do my Pokemon card reading. Let's see what the Pokemon cards have to say. What do you all think? What did the Loa think about white people, these white actors with all this money, adopting children from developing nations? Oh, bitch.
Oh, God.
Baby, I'm doing Pokemon card readings for forever, okay? The first card that I get is the card for Oddish. And there's a catch to these European, these white actors adopting these babies. They're planting seeds in these babies' minds or something. But there's a catch here, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's a minor catch. And it's a seed that's being planted, and on its surface it appears benign, but I'm pretty sure in the future we're going to see some of the ramifications of that showing up in how these children vote. The next card that I get is talking about pungent aromas. So the spirits don't think that it's something that's fishy about this, and it's a smell that's lingering, and it's a stench that they're just like, something's not right. But then there's also them talking about these children being adopted under special conditions. So let's see, what do you mean by special conditions? Special conditions meaning that these children are now they're legally bound to ancestries and cultures that they're unfamiliar with, that as human beings they're very open to. But I also see here that that white actors and actresses need to know that these African children are going to have large cultural resistances towards some of the practices that are being imposed upon them or that they have to learn. I'm also saying that in some way, some of these children will start trying to retreat from the home, from these outside cultures that they're being introduced to, and they'll want to return home. The spirits are also perplexed and they're confused as to why this would happen and why this would go on. They're describing this as something that's basic. And they're also saying that it is actually weakening European spiritual relationships, actually, in some way. And European ancestors are perplexed that this is going on as well. And they're saying that this is actually leaving a stain on their spiritual reputations, because they're saying to themselves that there are other children of other descents that need to be bound and tied up into their collective ancestry. And they're saying that these white ancestors are wondering why their militias are changing and transforming. The card for the metal core barrier is saying that, the spirits are saying that these white actors and actresses are overstepping boundaries, and they're breaking through barriers. And mind you that the spirits don't see right or wrong, but they're just they just speak about the consequences. So white people are breaking down, they're breaking spiritual barriers as well as social barriers around the normalcy of what we think, a traditional family might look like. But they're also saying that, they're saying to the ancestors, to white people's ancestors, you can play this game as long as you want to, but you may not like what happens in the future when it's your turn. The other thing that I see here is that they're saying that, in some ways Europeans are ramming through African culture, not thinking about tradition, and this is almost, they may be poisoning the culture in some way by them doing this, and this is just what the spirits are saying. Okay, now we're going to do a bone reading about white actors and actresses adopting black children. Okay. I'm going to read from top to bottom, and then by the time we get to the bottom, we'll be done with the read. Okay. So, all right. So there's a quarter over the child support coupon. Okay. So the ancestors are acknowledging that these white actors and actresses are funneling their money to these children to support them, large amounts of money, huge amounts of money, just to the individual children. But they forget that these children are connected to a community, so they're isolating these children from their communities, not teaching them about supporting their traditions, but just giving them tons and tons of money and introducing them to the ways of capitalism and calling it child support, calling it support of their children. The men, the men are being spoken about now. They are saying that the white men are trying to marry into these other cultures, that they're trying to be married to the culture, but not married to the person by adopting the child. Damn. It takes a lot of strength for these people to do this. They're actually going there, and it's a matter of the heart for a white person to do this. And I don't know where their hearts lie, whether it's good or bad. The spirits are not indicating that, but they're saying that it takes a lot of strength in their heart for them to do this. There's a probability of luck token falling over the Wi-Fi. So they're saying that there's actually a huge disconnect that these people are having with their ancestors. That, they're lucky if their blood ancestors are even speaking to these children. There's an open carry and a closed carry over no speed limit. So Barone is pretty much like, bitch, let go and let live. I mean, if you want to do it, okay? He's like, be cautious about doing it. His mouth is closed. He's not going to condone it. He's not saying to do it, but he's saying that if you do it, bitch, do it. Gotta remove some other things that are not relevant to the board. There is the romance tile over the sponge. So they're saying that these children are not brought. These children are being these white families are acquiring these black children out of love, but here's another thing. Barone is saying that that these white families feel that they can clean these children up and show them a different way of living. There's a power token over the Medusa, over the cleansing bath, over the Harlequin mask, over the Jinx. The power token over the Medusa is saying that these children are actually kind of petrified when they become aware of their difference, of their racial difference, of their phenotypical difference. They become petrified that they want to cleanse themselves of who they are. That these children feel that they are that they're born under unfortunate circumstances to have been adopted by a family like this. They think that their natural circumstances are unfortunate, and it's not an unfortunate situation to be living in a developing country. It can be a beautiful experience. There's a heart over the Jinx as well. So this is a matter of the heart for these children, that they feel that this is an unfortunate situation for them but they feel that they've escaped it. The memory card also falls over the Jinx as well, and over the curse. So they feel that they're escaping generational curses, but they also feel like that is going to be etched into their memories that their families have been cursed. There's a direction and the power token pointing over the Harlequin mask, meaning that we will never truly know what it is that these children are truly feeling, because they feel that they have to wear a mask that they were taught to wear by their parents, their legal parents, not their biological ones. Now the direction token points west, and this means a spiritual no. So this means that no, these kids can't adopt they truly can't adopt the religious practices of a culture that's foreign to them. So just as the black Americans in the U.S. that are in large swaths leaving Christianity, you can expect for these African children to adopt the religious practices, fully adopt the religious practices of their legal ancestors. Just what I see. The wisdom token is the wisdom token is also over the Libra scale. So it's a decision that needs to be weighed out before you do it. If you're a white person thinking about doing it, make sure it's a wise decision. There's a genie lamp over the black power fist. So these children will grow up in situations where they will wish that they were more connected to the community of people that are black empowered or pro-black. The woman, now speaking to white women, they're saying it is foul. This is foul play. There's a woman over the foul play token and over the boomerang. So this means that there's karma that women of European descent are going to experience. See, African leaders and African politicians need to start adopting European children from places like Serbia, places like Cyprus. Okay, so what goes around comes around, and you may not like it. And it's foul play. See, the women feel that they're saying that truthfully, deep down inside, for the white women that refuse to adopt black children, they feel that white women that refuse to adopt black children, they look at white women as though, oh, that's foul. Why are you doing that? So that's the truth. So the spirits is spilling some tea. So I'm just telling you how white people look at each other. So the elephant is over the beehive and over the unity tile. So they're saying, this is saying that, you know, these children will find value they find value in community, but they're going to be they're eventually going to seek out community that is sponsored, supported by, and consecrated through their blackness. There's a turtle on its back, and damn, why is the turtle always on its back? Well, shit. Look at what we asking. So the turtle is on its back, and there's a penny over the police officer, and this is indicating that, you know, these children will be stuck in a phase of arrested development. There's a beehive over the raw chicken. So these children growing up in these communities will be spiritually cowardly, nervousness. They'll deal with anxiety because of their malformed socialization processes. So it's going to be difficult for them to just be socialized around other people. But I mean, this is just the consequence of doing this type of thing. It's not right or wrong. It's just the consequence. There's another penny falling over the Black Plague. So this is saying that these children are not going to be diseased in any. They're not going to be spiritually diseased because they're going to wear masks. And we wouldn't know if they were or they weren't, but the spirits are saying that they won't. There's a mother token and the bicycle over the Black Panther. And this is saying that African Americans, particularly African women, need to traverse and travel to other spaces, that African women need to start getting their coin up so that they can start adopting some of these children and bring these children over here. And we can do what they're doing. They're trying to gentrify Africa, okay? So there's a typewriter over the crab. And so this is saying that, you know, these people, that white people are actually petitioning to their ancestors so that they can adopt more of these children. But this also saying that other white people that are not their allies are petitioning for this to stop. It's a crabs in a barrel mentality for white people. So white people need to be aware of this. There's a closed cowrie over the pig. So the ancestors are saying that white people, you are not casting your pearls unto swine. You're not, because you're helping valuable human beings, okay? Remember, you're doing a great service at the end of the day. There's a closed cowrie over the makeup and a closed cowrie. There's a closed cowrie over the makeup. So basically, these children can't make up for what has been lost. What has been lost from their loss of their culture. There's an open bottle cap over the poison ivy. So this is saying, again, there is no disease, no dysfunction, no poisoning of the community that comes from this. But there's a closed cowrie over the mirror. So these kids will not be able to see through the illusions of racism, the illusions that come through any cultural experience tied to their Africanness. There's a creativity stone over the treasure chest. So these children growing up in these households are going to, they're not going to be able to be as creative as they want to be. And this is not talking just about artistic creativity, but this is talking about their expression of themselves. There's a protection stone over the hypnotic bottle, so these children will not be protected from from being hypnotized or persuaded or peer pressured because they're not receiving advice that is culturally or spiritually relevant to them, and the spirits want you to be mindful of that. So those are some of the consequences of white people adopting black babies. If you're a white person that's interested in adopting a black child and you want to know more about whether you should or you should not, you can book a private consultation with me. If you're a black person that's interested in adopting a child from Africa, get a spiritual consultation. With that being said, I hope that you all learned something, and remember, the truth is always collaborative. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.
Fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your light.